Hello and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I'm Raven.
I'm Jess.
Jess Ika.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice. Alright, today we are gonna jump straight into it because it's fucking 30 fucking degrees outside again and my ass is sweating. But Jake did the sweetest thing. As soon as he got home from work, he put the AC in my office and turned it on.
Aw,
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah. So it's all nice and cool when I got in here. But literally, like, the second I turned it off, obviously I can't leave it on for the microphone because you literally wouldn't hear me. The second I turn it off, I, like, start sweating.
Yep, that's how it is.
This is so fucked.
At least it's going to cool down in a couple of days. Like tomorrow's going to be even more fucking hot. And then it should start cooling down Friday, Saturday, shouldn't it?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
I like on my computer's the little red exclamation mark next to the weather forecast.
It's like,
Beware.
oh boy, you're in for a doozy.
It's hot!
Yep.
Yeah, heat warning. All caps, like it's screaming at me.
Yeah, I see that on my phone every morning. When there is one, it's just like, heat warning in effect. And I'm like, fuck. Another one?
Oh shit!
Alright, so I'm a little bit stuffy, so apologies ahead of time if I'm like sniffling or like sneezing, because I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's dusty in here or something.
Sure.
But anyway, there's that. And what are we drinking today?
I have my tea. I think it's a citrus ginger tea.
Another ginger tea. Holy.
Hey, I have lots of ginger tea. And I'm gonna drink it all up. Because it's delicious. I like the spice.
Is it a hot one?
Yeah, it's hot.
You crazy.
I know. Beat heat with heat.
Fight fire with fire.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Drinking water or what? Juice?
Oh yeah, me. I like already forgot about me.
Yeah, fuck me.
I'm drinking iced tea.
Okay, nice.
Yes. But my ice melts like literally 3 minutes after I put it in, so.
Cool. Just watered down iced tea. Hell
it's
yeah.
just watered down iced tea now. All right. Where did we leave off our characters? Well, who are we even doing today?
I think we're doing Sam, Arya, John. Sam, Craster, and Lord Mormont are murdered, and Gilly begs Sam to save her and her baby. Arya learns that Ned, Lord Barrick's squire, is the Lord of Starfall, and he tells her that John's mother's name is Wyla, and then the Hound captures her. John arrives at a abandoned village with the wildlings and is ordered to kill an old man whom they find. He refuses, and a dire wolf pops out of nowhere, and together they fight the wildlings before he manages to escape on the horse. On a horse. Hell yeah, hell yeah. You ready for some Sam? Finally, it's been a hot minute.
It has. I'm so ready for some Sam. Give it to me.
Okay. Sam and Gilly arrive at a abandoned village with a heart tree, and Sam is like praying, "Oh, please be White Tree, please be White Tree," the village that they passed through in the last book called White Tree. He looks up the heart tree, but he cannot remember if it's the heart tree of White Tree, the town. Sam was very tired from all of their walking. Sam's horse had died in 3 days after they escaped Craster's Keep, and Sam thinks it was probably his weight that did it.
Aww.
Gilly still has her horse, so he's just been walking her Joseph and Mary style.
I like that visual.
That's how I see it. Anyways, Gilly sets making a fire in the long hall while he searches the empty huts. At some point, he realizes that he is not at White Tree, and he sinks to his knees in despair. He prays to the tree, begging for help, telling the tree that Gilly has a little son. Like, please help, she has a baby. When he returns to the long hall, Gilly has a fire blazing and is breastfeeding her son. Gilly asks how much further, and Sam says maybe a few more days till they should be able to see the wall. In Sam's hopelessness, he reminds himself that if he keeps heading south, they will eventually find the wall because it's freaking huge. Reminder, 300 miles long and 700 feet high.
Jesus. Can't miss it.
No, like just keep going, you'll find it.
Yeah. And
Gilly
he knows
asks-
he's going the right direction too, because he's like following the sun and the stars and whatever. Like he's doing a good job.
He's doing great, I think.
He might take like a little longer to get there if he's like going around shit, which I think he is, but he'll get there.
Yeah, eventually.
Maybe he's just worried about dying before getting there.
Yeah, because she has a baby. Imagine carrying a baby around in like minus 30 degrees weather. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, Gilly asks if the wall is really as big as Crasser used to tell her, and Sam tells her that's even bigger, trying to sound cheerful. He tells her that the wall is made of ice and it's so big it hides the castles on the other side. And he tells her that the long hall at Castle Black has a hearth going 24/7 and it's very hot. She asks if she can stand by the fire just to warm up at the Castle Black hearth. And he tells her of course, and tells her of all the food that she can eat as well. Just like trying to like lift her spirits so they can forget how cold they are. Cold and hungry they are.
Hope.
He tells her about the songs some of his brothers like to sing, and Gilly asks if he sings. Sam blushes and says that he knows some songs, but his father had always ridiculed and punished him for showing interest in music, so he's sort of like suppressed that side of him. She's like, no matter, and asks for a song for the babe. He complies, and he sings a children's song called "The Song of the Seven." I wrote down the page number if you were interested.
Sure, I thought it was interesting.
Alright, pull up my book. 641.
I wonder if it was kind of made as a psalm to teach children about the gods.
Absolutely, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the song goes as the father's face is stern and strong.
Wait, you're not gonna sing? Just kidding.
Oh fuck, no. I'm not going to make our listeners suffer. He sits and judges right from wrong.
He sits and judges right from wrong.
Oh, fuck. He weighs our lives.
He weighs our lives.
And long.
Short and long.
And loves the little children. The mother gives the gift of life and watches over every wife. Her gentle smile ends all strife, and she loves her little children. The warrior stands before the foe, protecting us wherever we go. With sword and shield and spear and bow, he guards the little children. The crone is very wise and old, and sees our fates as they unfold. She lifts her lamp of shining gold to lead the little children. The smith, he labors day and night. He put the world of men to right. With hammer, plow, and fire bright, he builds for little children. The maiden dances through the sky. She lives in every lover's sigh. Her smile teach the birds to fly and gives dreams to little children. The seven gods who made us all are listening if we should call. So close your eyes, you shall not fall. They see you, little children. Just close your eyes, you shall not fall. They see you, little children.
So apparently these gods only care about children.
Apparently.
Adults can go fuck themselves.
Adults are all sinners. They're all gonna burn.
I mean, I guess you could technically argue that, like, every adult is someone's child.
I guess.
But they're not little children.
They're not little. They're big.
Also, I noticed immediately that there was only 6 gods mentioned in the song.
And
it's called the
Gilly
Seven.
asks that. Gilly asks why there's only 6. I'll get there.
Okay.
1 sec. Anyways, he remembers the last time he sung that song was with his mother to put his baby brother Dick on to sleep. And his father had burst in raging that she's already ruined one son of his, she'll not ruin the other.
Wow.
Yeah. Gilly's baby is fast asleep when he's done. And apparently the baby is still not named. When he had asked Gilly about it, she told him that it's bad luck to name a baby before they're 2 years old. I think some
Oh.
cultures used to do that. I think I've heard about that.
Holy.
So here, yeah. That babies don't get named because baby death rate was so high.
Yeah, I guess so. But how do you even, do you just say, like, my kid? Like,
I
how do
guess
you refer to them?
the baby,
The baby, my child, my little child.
my babe.
It's also, it's kind of cool that you can, like, get to know the kid's personality before you decide what to name them.
Yeah, that is pretty fascinating.
Although, how much personality does a kid have at 2? I don't know.
I think children start showing personality around that time.
Okay.
Human, like, yeah, they're babies, but they're humans, little humans.
Are they? Are they,
Are
though?
they? Okay. She compliments his singing and asks why he only sang of 6 gods and there are 7. Sam tells her that no one sings of the stranger, and it makes him really uncomfortable to even talk about the stranger, and he changes the subject, saying that they should eat.
Oh.
I think the stranger is the god of death or something. The way he seems to think about him. He looks like death, like he's in a cloak and you can't see his face. What if there's a skull in there? It's death.
Probably something along those lines. I don't know if it's death exactly. Like, why call it the stranger? I guess because, like, it's unknown and death is unknown. That makes sense.
Yeah. They eat a little, then Sam goes out to bring the remaining horse inside to get warm. After that, he joins Gilly under his cloak, which is big enough to cover the 3 of them with plenty of space, and gets all cozy. He likes sleeping beside her, and he likes how she smells, which I thought was cute. He has strange dreams that night that he's back at Hornhill, but his father isn't there. Instead, he's with Jon Snow, Lord Mormont, and his other brothers from the Watch. They have a big feast, and they have a merry time, and when he retires, he finds Gilly waiting for him in his bed, wearing only furs. He awakens cold and full of dread. The horse is anxious, it's whinnying and kicking, and he sees that Gilly is huddled beside the embers, hugging her babe. The hairs on his arms stand up, and he sees a shadow move by the door. Gilly starts to weep, saying that they're here for the baby. A huge shape enters the long hall, and Sam recognizes Small Paul with a raven sitting on his shoulder, eating his face.
Oh my fucking god, that's horrific.
He got his raven.
I literally wrote that down. He got his raven.
Right, like, oh my god. Sam weakly tells him to go away. He pees himself as the white advances on them, and he tells Gilly to get the horse and leave. He pulls out a dragon glass dagger and he tries to talk to Paul.
Oh, Sam.
So Small Paul swings towards the sound of Gilly, and Sam throws himself at Paul and plunges the dagger into his back. Whoa. He tries to, yeah, as soon as he's going after Gilly, Sam's like, no.
Well, he was still terrified and
he pissed himself.
It's not like he did some badass move. He kind of stumbles forward, but he goes for it.
He still did it.
That's all that matters.
He's getting pretty brave out there. He tries to stab Paul again in the stomach, but his mail deflects the dagger, sending it spinning out of Sam's grasp. The white grabs Sam's neck and starts to choke him. Sam tries to escape, but he's not strong enough. Sam lurches forward, and despite the white being stronger than him, Sam is a fat fuck, and they both fall.
Oh, come on.
Sam is pretty freaking heavy. Sam, even though Small Paul managed to lift him. Jesus Christ, that man.
He's a strong man. He's huge.
Sam sees the remains of the embers and grabs some with his bare hands.
Oh. And
smashes them into Paul's mouth so hard that he breaks some of his teeth out.
Damn!
I'm guessing his teeth were also kind of rotten out of there, but it's still badass that he grabbed it with his bare hands.
Yeah.
He and John now have matching burned hands.
That was the first thing I thought when you said that.
I just thought of it right now. I was like, twins!
Hell yeah. Matching burns.
Matching burns. Soon, its face bursts into flame, and I guess, it dies? If that's what happens to whites?
Does it die? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he defeats him.
Okay. Sam leaves after Gilly and finds her surrounded by more whites. Some are already tearing their horse apart.
Jesus, no.
Yeah. He sees more of his brothers in the midst with the whites, including Chet, the guy we started out with.
Oh, yeah.
In this book. Yeah. Sam whimpers no fair, and Small Paul's raven lands on his shoulder, screeching, "Fair, fair, fair!" Gilly screams as the whites descend on her. Then all around them, the trees begin to groan and creak, and he looks up and he sees the weirwood is full of thousands of ravens watching them all. And then all at once they scream, open their wings, and descend on the whites, ripping them and clawing their faces.
What the ass?
Yeah, all these ravens.
What?
The raven on Sam's shoulder starts saying, "Go, go, go!" And then Sam grabs Lily.
Did you say Lily?
I did.
Hello.
Then Sam grabs Gilly and runs when he hears a shout from the trees calling him. Sam turns to see a man in black riding a gigantic elk that's probably 10 feet tall at the shoulder.
Holy what?
Yup. They run towards the rider, and the elk kneels to let them on. And when they're both on the elk, and Sam is in the middle of thanking him, Sam notices that the rider's hand is black and cold and hard as stone.
Bruh.
That chapter. That is that chapter.
So, there's kind of a lot to unpack here.
Oh, yup.
Okay, first question. Is Little Sam actually... Sorry, not Little Sam. My bad. Is the baby actually being hunted? Or, spoiler alert, for the Little Sam thing. Or did Small Paul just come across them?
I think the baby is being hunted.
Really?
Sure.
Are they that petty? The White Walkers?
Well, they're old. They're old.
Yeah, but it's
as
one.
theirs.
I mean, I guess because they become the White Walkers? Question
And
mark
it's
theory.
Others? Question mark theory? Yeah. Well,
So
like
all like the
seems
dead.
like that he's being hunted, and they feel like they want to expand their ranks. Maybe, I don't know, but they seem like they really want this baby.
Yeah. So there's that, and then the ravens thing. I was very confused when I read that. Like, why is there a million bajillion ravens in this one spot? 2, why do they all attack the whites at once? And I didn't really have any answers. And then I just thought, while you were reading, that maybe it's like a warg type of thing. Is
Or
someone controlling
Could
these
have
ravens?
been the prayer that he did to the white tree,
Oh.
because they all appeared on the white tree before they all started attacking.
Shit,
That's
you're
how
right.
I saw it.
Oh, I like that answer.
We prayed to the white tree, and help came in the form of thousands of ravens.
Fascinating.
Like, I think I remember in the first book where he was like praying, like not praying, but did it, justifying why he wanted to do his vows in front of a white tree. It's like, the 7 never helped me. Maybe the old gods will.
And lo and behold,
Old gods are helping out still.
I mean, why not? He prayed again, so.
Okay.
And then the rider rescuer guy.
And the giant fucking elk, the huge ass, like beefed up elk.
Did you have any thoughts on who this might be?
I know who it is.
You just know?
Yeah, I do.
But this is
I've spoiled myself a long time ago by
Oh.
watching all of these like lore videos on YouTube.
Oh. Well, don't spoil it for me. Is that something
won't.
that I could guess though? Because I feel like I would know.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, I thought maybe it was Benjen. Don't
Any other
put-
guesses? Hey, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna respond to any of your guesses. I'm just gonna say, give me more guesses, bro.
Oh, more guesses? I was so certain it was Benjen.
What do you want me to like tell you?
No.
Keep going.
Oh, well, that's my only guess.
Okay.
My only guess is
That's a
that
good
it's
guess.
it's Benjen. because this person has like a black cold hand, so seems like they're a white or something, or like partially dead. Like, I don't know, like frostbite.
Ew.
It's someone who's
walking around
with like your frostbitten hand that just needs to come the fuck off.
Yeah, just freaking cut that off, bro. Gross.
Yeah, the only person I know of who has been north of the wall for like ages and ages and ages would be Benjen. So
yeah, and like in the show, like,
but that's not like how it goes in the show.
The only
right?
character who runs around rescuing people north of the wall.
Yeah, but this is not how it plays out in the show.
No.
It's not till like season fucking 7 that we see Benjen again, right?
Oh yeah, it's the door. The episode The Door is when you first see Benjen.
Hold the door.
And he's definitely not riding a giant fucking elk.
I know. So, yeah.
Which would have been dope. Seeing a giant elk running around in the show. Like, what am I watching?
They probably thought that was too, like, mystical or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they did cut out a lot of the magic.
Yeah, like the dragons, they're fine, but a giant elk, nope.
Dragons are the most magic they can have in the show. Other than the priests of the Red Temple, I guess.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I don't know if Sam would have noticed in his panic state, but if the raven on his shoulder might have been Mormont's raven, because it seemed pretty intelligent.
Right.
And copying what Sam was saying and then saying a random word to Sam, like, go.
And it was obviously comfortable enough around people.
Yeah. To go straight to Sam right after.
And
like, almost like it knew Sam.
But how would it have ended up on Small Paul? Like, when did Mormont lose his raven? Was that when he died?
I guess so. Did Small Paul die before that then?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Oh, he did. I wonder if he did.
I thought he did. Yeah, he lost to the White Walker.
Oh yeah.
When they were marching to Craster's Keep.
Gee, maybe it ain't.
Well, who knows? They all ended up here, so the raven could have met him somewhere along the way, but no idea. The fact that Raven was saying go still makes me feel like maybe there's some warg shit going on.
Ooh, could be.
Like, we know the Starks have warg blood in them, so if that's Benjen and he's riding a giant elk.
Well, if Benjen was also warg, like, would that mean Ned? Could it possibly have, like, untapped warg ability potential?
Probably, yeah. I don't think it came from Catelyn.
Well, she's technically only a Stark by marriage.
That's what I mean. Like, her children didn't... Oh, yeah, and because Jon has it, too, so it couldn't have been from Catelyn. Right? It's the Stark blood. So, that was chapter 46, and now we're on to chapter 47, who is Arya. Arya!
Ready for some Arya?
I am so ready.
So ready. Okay. Arya and the Hound arrive at a river. Arya asks if it's the Blackwater Rush, and he tells her that all she needs to know is that they gotta cross it. He had to threaten her a lot on their first day to get her to comply with his rules. No hitting, or he'll tie her hands behind her back. No running off, or he'll bind her feet together. No screaming, shouting, or biting, or he'll gag her.
Damn.
Kind of reasonable.
Yeah. I mean...
They're not insane.
Yeah. He could have just started by strapping her to the back of his horse and gagging her. Like...
Yeah, but instead he's, like, giving her a chance to just be a companion, I guess. Not really a companion, but, like...
Just let her be comfortable. Around. Yeah.
You can stretch a little.
I wonder if that's, like, somehow more... If it's somehow easier for him, or if he actually, like, would just prefer her to be comfortable if possible.
I think he's surprisingly a little bit compassionate.
Yeah.
Like he's got a tiny that he doesn't accept in his heart, like the Grinch a little.
I think you're right. I mean, we've seen it when he's with Sansa, so.
Mm-hmm. And I think we see some with Arya. There's like little tiny little things.
And I think the less that he knows people, the easier it is for him to kind of be cruel and keep them at a distance. So the more he'll get to know Arya, I think the more he'll find it difficult to be cruel.
He's just had a hard upbringing and just doesn't like people. He thinks them all as villainous and self-serving. So he has like no like for people. He doesn't trust people. He's like fuck them all.
Mm-hmm.
It's find a friend, I guess.
Yeah.
I
he just needs a friend.
I missed the rule. Ride nicely with him, or he'll throw her across the back of the horse like a sow.
Mm-hmm.
Going for slaughter. Okay, so she complied, but the first night they set camp, she waited until she thought he was asleep, found a big rock to smash his head in, but he opened his eyes when she got close, took the rock from her, and then warned her that if he catches her trying to do that again, he'll hurt her for reals. Then he started rolling her in his horse blanket every night, tied at the ends thereafter.
So she's like a little burrito?
That's pretty funny.
Effective.
Garner. The Hound's horse is a great black courser, I think. Coursier?
Yeah, courser.
Yeah. Its name is Stranger.
Love it.
He's gentle with Sandor, but he's mean as fuck to everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Arya tried to steal him once and nearly got her face bitten off. Whoa! Arya stares at the river, unable to recall if the Blackwater was as wide when she last saw it, and when she first traveled to King's Landing 2 books ago. I think it was probably 2 years previous.
Wait, when would she have crossed the Blackwater?
When she first went to King's Landing with her papa and sister.
So not when she was traveling with Gendry and Hot Pie.
No, they didn't cross the Blackwater then.
Okay.
They ride along the river looking for a crossing for hours, and they arrive at the town called Haraway.
Mm-hmm.
The town is flooded. Completely flooded. Like only the highest towers are seen above the water.
Damn,
like
what the
church
fuck?
Towers and whatnot. Church towers, not like castles. Sandor shouts, and a few men pop their heads out from the towers above the waters. One shouts a response, and Sandor yells at them to take them over to the other side. The man says it'll cost them, and Sandor promises to pay. The men talk amongst themselves, and then more men appear with poles, and they hop on the ferry and slowly make their way to them. When the ferry hits the shore, Sandor urges Stranger on. The ferryman tells Sandor that it'll be a gold piece for each of them, to take each of them across, so 3 dragons, and they want payment now, before they take them. But Sandor tells them that he will pay them after, or he will basically kill them. Doesn't really say that, but the threat of it.
Mm-hmm.
He swears on his knight's honor. He's not a fucking. He swears on his knight's honor that he will pay them after, making Arya scream inside.
And he also has no money.
No, he has no gold either. But the men take him for his word, and they ferry them across. I think there's like a shelter on the ferry that Arya stays in during the ride. It doesn't really describe the ferry that much, but it seems like there's like a shelter with like a fire or like a big iron brazier heating up the room.
Yeah, I thought there was like a below deck kind of area.
I couldn't quite like picture it, honestly.
I was picturing like a pirate ship, but like smaller.
They sail through and past the sunken town, where the river is more vicious, and soon the men are struggling to move the ferry across. Arya considers jumping into the water to escape, and is about to throw herself overboard when she hears a shout. When she looks, she sees a huge tree coming right at them, but 2 men with poles. manage to deflect it, but one of the branches hits the ferry, throwing one of the two polar men into the water, where he is quickly pulled under, and Arya decides not to go through with her plan.
Okay, just for clarity, it's like a broken off tree in the water, right?
Yeah, it's like a tree that was ripped out from the ground. So it's like a huge tree floating.
Mm-hmm.
When they finally make it ashore, the ferryman demands 6 dragons, 3 more gold pieces for the man he lost. Sandor gives him his IOU note, and the ferryman is like, but you promised on your knight's honor. And Sandor is like, knights have no honor, idiot, and he gallops away into the sunset.
Damn.
That night, Sandor feeds Arya a thick slice of sausage and notices her eyeing his dagger. He warns her that he never beat his sister, but he will beat her if she keeps trying to kill him. I just love that, like, he knows his tiny child is just constantly trying to kill him. It's so funny. But he feels pretty amused by it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seeing how different the two sisters are.
Yeah.
Like, one is, like, terrified of him, the other is constantly just trying to kill him.
I'm gonna murder you in your sleep.
Oh, you're like, I like this one, Will. He appreciates...
It's entertaining.
Yeah. He appreciates that at least Arya looks at his face. He warns her that she is safer with him. If she did get away, she would just be caught by someone worse. Arya tells him that there is no one worse than him. And Sandor is like, have you met my bro?
True.
Arya tells him that she has met the Mountain, as well as Dunson, Polliver, and Raph the Sweetling, and the Tickler. Sandor is surprised that she knows them, as Sir Gregor has never brought them to court. Arya tells Sandor of when they captured her and her friends at the village, which makes Sandor laugh. The idea that his brother had caught the missing Stark girl, not even realizing it, is just too good for him. And he says he'll be sure to tell him that before he cuts his heart out. In an attempt to get Arya more compliant, he tells her that he saved Sansa's life once when the mob pulled her off of her horse. Arya calls him a liar, and Sandor tells her that she doesn't know as much as she thinks she does. He tells her that they did not cross the Blackwater. He curses the king and the Lannisters, and he tells her that they just crossed the Trident and they're actually heading towards the twins. He's going to ransom her back to her family and take the gold for himself.
Oh,
Perhaps
shit.
even join Robb and fight for him.
What?
Arya, what? Yeah. Like, that's a big player. Take him. Arya tells him that Robb would never take him. And Sandor just shrugs and says, and he'll just take all the gold he can carry and ride into the sunset. Bye-bye. He tells her that if she cooperates, they might just make it in time for her uncle's wedding. And that's that chapter.
Holy shit. So, Barrack was trying to take her home, and then she got yanked by the Hound, who is now trying to take her home.
Yeah, they're just fighting over her just to get the gold.
Yeah.
That's just worth. Do you think Robb would have accepted the Hound's service?
No, I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
I think he's too distrustful of the Lannisters.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would have killed him. I think he would have shown his appreciation and rewarded him. I mean, would have. Spoilers. I think he'd show his appreciation and reward him with gold and, like, feed him and send him off, like, with more food and provisions and gold and whatever.
Okay.
But I don't think he would accept his service.
Yeah. It would be pretty sketchy.
Yeah, it's just like he could turn around at any second and stab me.
Yeah. I like... Do I like it? I'm not sure. But, like, some of the deaths in these chapters just go by, like, a blink of an eye, like, it's like it's another day. Well, just another Saturday.
Which one are you thinking of?
The guy who just fell off the ferry and was sucked into the river.
Yeah.
Nope, there's another one.
Bye.
Another one bites the dust.
See you in the afterlife.
It just happened so quickly with, like, so, like, very little afterthought.
Yeah,
Jeez,
there's
like, death
like
is just everywhere in this book.
I think it's different for like different characters too. Like I think from Sansa's perspective, when someone dies, it like really affects her. But
I guess true. Like, well, she's so sheltered, and even though Arya is sheltered, like was sheltered,
she's seen and done a lot since then.
Mhm.
So
True.
I don't think it affects her as much, especially when it's someone she doesn't know or care about.
And she's definitely made of different stuff than the Sansa is.
That's a faux show.
Faux show. I mean, she killed her first person at what, 9 or 10?
Yeah,
It was
one of those. Well, shall we move on to chapter 40? Oops, I punched my mic. Chapter 48. Jon?
No.
Jon Snow?
Jon Snow?
Wow,
Okay,
actually
okay.
get 3 chapters done this one? Holy.
Oh. Okay. Jon makes it to the King's Road. Is it called the King's Road?
Yeah?
Okay.
Why are you
It just
asking? What?
It seemed wrong to me when I was reading it. The King's Road. What's that?
Yeah.
Jon makes it to the King's Road, and his horse is struggling. He forces it to continue while constantly fighting himself, passing out, and having to redirect the horse because it wanders off somewhere else when he passes out. He almost rides through Mole Town before turning back and getting a new horse.
Mm-hmm.
He warns the villagers about the wildlings on their way and then continues to Castle Black. No one challenges him or confronts him when he rides through the gates of Castle Black. It almost seems like a ghost town. The only sign of life comes from the smoke coming out of the chimney of the armory, so he heads there. Inside, one-armed Donal Noy is shocked to see Jon.
Oh, Donald?
Donal?
Either way, I was like kind of a flashback when I read his name again. I was like, holy,
Man,
this guy.
I forgot him. One-armed. I was like, did I read that last time? One-armed?
Yeah,
Damn.
he's the guy.
That is a
The guy at the
badass
forge.
blacksmith.
Yeah.
Badass blacksmith. He says he heard Jon had joined Mance in the wildlings. Some scouts had spotted Jon with them.
Oh.
Jon says that it's true and explains that he was acting on the half-hand's orders. He asks where their defenders are, and Donal explains that they're spread out across the wall. Jon tries to explain that they need to come back, but then Donal notices his blood-soaked thigh, pale skin, and fever, and he shuts down the conversation, saying he's taking Jon to Aemon right now. Jon protests as Donal half carries him to Aemon, saying that there's no time a wildling band of 120 is coming from the south. Jon learns that there's only around 40 men remaining in Castle Black, and none are trained fighters. Jon asks if Ghost made it back, but they have not seen him. At Aemon's rooms, Clydas immediately fetches the Maester at the sight of Jon. Jon is laid down on a table, and Clydas returns leading the Maester. Aemon is excited to hear Jon's tale, but only when he's better, and immediately sets to work ordering Clydas and Donal to boil wine and to get his irons red hot. Jon tells Aemon that the wildlings are coming from the south and how they climbed the wall. He explains that he was commanded to join and spy on them, and asks where Commander Mormont is. Aemon has to tell Jon that Mormont was murdered alongside Craster by their own men, and only a dozen made it back.
Oh, yeah.
Jon is shook at the idea of Mormont being murdered by their own men, and because of the 200 of the wall's best, only a dozen made it back. Dude,
Wow.
that is a huge loss. Huge.
It had to be like within their realm of expectations, though. Like, what did they really expect?
I have no idea. I think originally was Commander Mormont ready to start a war with the wildlings, or were they just looking? I think they were, because he was taking all of his best men. They must have been.
Yeah, like
ready
I
to
feel like
battle.
that's pretty much what he was prepared for.
Yeah, I think they also didn't think they'd lose so many, because the wildlings versus the trained Black Brothers would have been an even match. I think many times where Jon notices how undisciplined they are and how it would have been pretty easy to take out the majority of them.
I think you're right. They definitely would have been like, oh, it's like 5 wildlings to 1 brother type of thing.
Yeah. Aemon orders Clytus to bring milk of the poppy. Jon tries to protest, but Aemon shuts that down, saying that this is going to freaking hurt, and you're not going to deal with it without this drug, of opiate.
Drink up.
Donal tells him that he will tie him down himself if he does not sit still. Jon drinks the milk, and Aemon starts washing his leg, making him want to scream. He tells them about the Magnar and his men to distract himself from the pain. Tells them about Mance's plan to find the Horn of Winter, which is what he was doing at the Milkwater. The milk of the poppy starts to hit, and when Aemon asks if they really believe in that legend, Jon tells them that, yeah, Ygritte said that they opened 100 graves, yada yada yada. And Donal's like, who's Ygritte? So Jon starts explaining Ygritte to them, like, about, like, gets starting with, like, how cool she is or whatever. And then he crumbles and he tells them that he broke his vows with her. He's like, oh, please forgive me, I broke my vows, I didn't mean to. Aemon tells Donal to hold him still as he goes in with a hot knife. Jon screams and beats the tables with his fists, and Jesus. Aemon does his thing. During, his thoughts are on Ygritte, and then he faints. He wakes up in pain, and Pip and Gren are there. Jon asks about Sam, and Gren tells him about how he saw Sam kill another with the dragonglass dagger that he found, but they had to abandon him at Craster's Keep when he refused to leave with them. Jon wants to scream at them for leaving him behind, but he bites it down. Pip tries to improve the mood by suggesting that maybe Sam the Slayer might surprise them all and come riding up tomorrow.
I mean, Jon, anything's possible. And he's not too far off from the truth. He was
just rescued by a giant elk.
Yeah, I mean, he's not doing too bad.
Yo, wouldn't that be funny if the very next day
he rides up on a giant elk?
He does show up. Dude, that'd be funny. Okay,
that would be amazing.
You're like, damn, Pip, you were freaking clairvoyant.
Yeah.
Jon tries to sit up, but the pain is too great, and Gran goes to wake Aemon for more milk with the poppy. As Aemon shuffles over, Jon asks if word had been sent to Winterfell yet. Maester Aemon has the great pleasure of telling Jon how Theon Greyjoy took Winterfell in his father's name, killed his younger brothers, and then set Winterfell to flame, and it's now no more.
Big oof.
Oh. Gran tries to make Jon feel better by telling him that Bolton's son has Theon, and it's rumored that he's being flayed alive very slowly right now.
Lovely.
Great. Jon is confused because he swore he saw a grey direwolf at the Queen's Crown, and it knew him. He tries to explain this to them, but they're just like, the fuck is this guy talking about?
Yeah.
And they give him more milk of the poppy.
He's like, duh.
Dreamland.
That obviously means that that's not true. They're like,
yeah,
I don't know what you're saying, bro.
I think he's still got the fever. He dreams of the hot springs in the God's Wood at Winterfell, and Ygritte is there with him, naked and trying to get some. But he cannot because the werewood has his father's face and he can't break his vows in front of his father.
Damn, he misses her a lot.
Yeah. He tells her that he cannot father a bastard, and she tells him that he knows nothing before her skin sloughs off in the water and she is just a skeleton in a pool of blood.
Oh, yeah. That part was weird. Like, what does that mean?
That was brutal. I wonder if it's, like, foretelling. Of her, what's gonna happen to her.
Yeah, her skin's gonna slough off. But no, I know you mean.
Be bathing in a pool of blood, trying to invite Jon in with her. Still trying to get some.
Yep. Join me, Jon.
Join us.
He's like, I don't know if I'm into it. And she's like, you know nothing! You don't know what you're into, Jon Snow.
There. Oh man, yeah, that's that chapter. Did I say that?
Oh,
I did.
okay. Well, that's it then, I guess. Holy.
That's it.
So,
It's...
John knew the direwolf was Summer. That I didn't know that he knew.
I think, wasn't his first thought of Greywind? When he first saw it, it's like, is that Greywind? Like Greywind?
Was it?
Yeah, I believe his first thought when he first saw it, his first reaction was Greywind.
Oh.
I guess because maybe he spent more time around Greywind with Rob when they were there.
We talked about this, but I'm not remembering. I found the chapter though, so I'll look real quick.
But he definitely recognized the wolf somewhat, and he knew that the wolf recognized him. He saw that, I guess, with his wargy eyes.
Okay, so the first thing he thinks is that it's Ghost.
Oh yeah.
But then he's like, oh, no, it's Grey. And that's it. He doesn't think of Greywind.
He doesn't think Greywind? Well, okay.
No. So yeah. Turns out this one reveals that he's confused that Bran's dead because he's like, but I saw a grey direwolf, so he recognized Summer.
Yeah. Trust your gut, John.
I wonder how are Summer and Greywind different then?
I have no idea.
Anyway.
So that's that. See you next time. Jessica's out.
What was that? Was that you phasing out?
Yeah.
If you want more of the podcast, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at TIGBAB Podcast, or you can follow us separately. My handle is Crimby, Jess's is Jess.Egan24. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search TIGBAB Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and we should show up there. Also, please subscribe to our good friend Bahrami on YouTube. He's the one who made our jingle, which you heard at the start of this episode, and he's a really cool guy and makes dope stuff, so check him out. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/teaisgoodbooksarebetter. We have a few different tea-themed tiers with fun rewards, such as behind-the-scenes content, outtakes, and mini-episodes in which we force our brother to watch Game of Thrones, which he hates. So you will be getting something in return for your contribution, and you'd also be helping us improve the podcast with better equipment. But we also just appreciate you listening. And please don't forget to share the podcast with your family and your friends. It is the best way for us to grow.
Yeah. Right, that's how it goes.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next one. This is going to be the lead up to something insane. Kat is heading to the twins, and Arya is heading to the twins. So if you know anything about Game of Thrones,
anyone seen the show, you know what's going on.
This shit's gonna pop off. Join us next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.